It was a little past 11 at night. The air was cold, the ground wet from earlier rain, and I was walking the edge of my property to check the lake, something I usually did before turning in. But tonight, something felt off. Before I even reached the shoreline, I heard voices. Loud, careless, echoing across the water. I narrowed my eyes, switched on my flashlight, and the beam landed on something that made me stop. A full-size party boat, floating on my private lake, with strangers drinking, laughing, and blasting music. I marched closer and shouted, "Who gave you permission to be here?" They looked at me like I was the intruder. But the real surprise came from behind me, heels clicking on the wet grass, a familiar angry breath, and then her voice. "Don't you dare talk to my guests like that!" I turned around, and there stood HOA Karen, arms crossed, face red, acting like she owned the place. She jabbed a finger toward the water and screamed, "This lake belongs to the community. My guests can use it whenever they want." Her voice echoed so loudly the boat actually stopped moving. I calmly reached into my coat, pulled out a document and held it between us. "Actually," I said, "this entire lake is within my property boundaries. Surveyed, recorded, and legally confirmed last month." She froze. Her mouth opened, but no sound came out. Her guests looked confused. One whispered, "Are we trespassing?" Karen snapped. No, he's lying. This has always been community space." I stepped forward, pointed to the map in my hand, and said, "If it were community property, the HOA would have had it listed in their charter. But they didn't. Because it isn't." The color drained from her face. For the first time, she had no argument, no comeback, no yelling. She quietly waved at her guests and muttered, "Let's just go." The boat engine hummed, and they backed away into the dark, silent now. People like Karen don't fear rules. They fear proof. As I stood there watching the ripples fade, one thing became crystal clear.